Sonata form. An incredible amount of important music in the classical period up until the 20th century was composed in sonata form. The term sonata form, it's two words, sonata form, refers to a form of a single movement. And that should not be confused with the term sonata, which is used for a whole composition made up of several movements. So if you ever hear sonata in a title, is a whole composition made up of several movements. But sonata form you won't see in a title. That's just a form within what the music is being played with. It can be used for fast movements. It can be used for slow movements. Anyways, sonata form has really just three parts. It has something called an exposition, which is A, big A. All right. Then it has a development, which is B, big B. And then it has a recapitulation, which is A again, but it's not quite the same A, but it is A. So basically, you could say that sonata form is in three parts, A, B, and A prime. So within the sonata form, the exposition is really the main focus of the piece of music. The exposition usually has these three or four things in it. It has a first theme. It's always in the tonic key or the home key. And it's usually pretty obviously a theme, and they usually repeat it depending on who the composer was, and it goes on. And then it has some sort of bridge, also known as a transition, and it contains a modulation from the home key to a new key area. Most often it's the dominant key area. Then you have this second theme in a new key area, and it's usually contrasting. It's very lyrical. You got the first theme that maybe is rough and whatever, and this second theme is very lyrical, soft in nature maybe, but it's usually contrasting from the first theme. Then after that you have a closing section in the key of the second theme. Then it repeats itself again. There's repeat signs, and it goes back and plays the whole thing again. Then we have a development section, which is the B section. And what they do is they use the themes and various things from the original exposition, and they do strange things with them. They say they develop it. The new treatment of these old themes, modulations to the different key, lots of tension. And then you come back, and the third thing is the recapitulation. That's A prime. And it'll play, just like the exposition, it'll play the first theme in the tonic key. Then it'll have that bridge or transition, but the transition doesn't really go anywhere because it doesn't finish the modulation. Because then it plays the second key in the tonic or home key. So that's different from the exposition, which played the second theme in the new key. But anyways, you had the first theme in the recapitulation. You have the first theme, the bridge, the second theme in the same key, and then you have a closing section in that key also. And then sometimes, and sometimes these were very large, you had a coda to complete the piece in the tonic key. You didn't have the repeat. The only repeat that happened was in the exposition. So again, A, exposition, B, development, and C is the recapitulation. So fast movements in sonata form were sometimes preceded by a slow introduction that creates a strong feeling of expectancy. So we're going to listen to some music, Mozart's Symphony No. 40 in G minor. This is the first movement. It's called Molto Allegro, which means it's got a quick, lively tempo. So it's in sonata form. So it's going to start immediately with the first theme, and the first theme has really kind of like three-note motive. Da 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 da. It's got this rhythm. It goes da 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 dum ba da dum bum ba da dum ba da dum ba da dum bum, something like that. Okay, and you're going to hear it, and it's going to go through it, and then it's going to repeat it all again. All right. That's the way the classical people like to do things. They would play something, and then they would repeat that first theme again. So then you're going to get some sort of transition, and at about 2 minutes, you're going to get, at about 2 minutes into the video, you're going to have the second theme, and the second theme is contrasting. The first theme was in minor. This is in major, and it's got long notes. Instead of the da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bump, it's got dee da 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 da, something like that. It's got some long notes in it. And then you're going to have the closing section, and then it's going to start all over, and that's at about 4 minutes, I believe. So what comes after the repeat is the development section. Okay, the development section is at about 4 minutes, and it's going to start exactly like the beginning, except it's going to degenerate and keep playing that da-da-din, 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 and the composer's working out that theme among some other themes, and it goes through some various keys, and he divides the things up, the resources between the strings and the woodwinds and various things like that. So the theme is chopped all up. And at about 5.5 minutes, I think you're going to get what's called the recapitulation, which is the opening phrase, and we hear it as the beginning of the theme again. Okay, and it will play through that, except it won't change keys. It will all be in the tonic key.